So I have been using the all new iPhone 17 Pro Max in this cosmic orange color from about 2 weeks now, and even though that I did return the original device in the cosmic orange color, and the reason is just because that I wanted to try the silver one, and I'm still waiting for the stock to arrive on the Apple Store. And the reason that why I did that, I have made a separate video about the very same thing, and you would be able to find a link about that somewhere over here or here. But the thing is that I did use this device for about 2 weeks, and I wanted to make a review about this all new iPhone 17 Pro Max and the thing that I really loved about this device. Now, I am an Android fanboy and I use the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra for most of the part, and this is again one of my favorite devices of this year. But this thing, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, the all new design, I think that this is just a big win over for me, and I might really just start to use the iPhones more than my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. That is again one thing to say. Now again, I do not think so that I would ever go to that route just because how much I love the Android smartphones. But I will keep the iPhone 17 Pro Max as a secondary device just to make sure that I've always got a reliable camera with me whenever I want to. That is one of the things that I really loved about the latest iPhones. And also, I just love the battery life on this smartphone. That is another thing that I will discuss later on to this video. But talking about the device, I originally got this thing in a cosmic orange color. And even though that I do really love this cosmic orange color on this iPhone 17 Pro Max, and I am really not biased about this color, but the thing is that I do shoot a lot of videos outdoor, and whenever I'm taking a shot of this smartphone outside, a lot of people may just stop me thereby and would just ask about this smartphone. And the thing is that they know that this is the all new iPhone in the orange color, and this is just one of the colors that you can really not hide from the people. Even if I just put a case on top of it, they would see the camera plateau on this device that is in the orange color, and it is just a very hard device to just hide from the people. And that is one of the things that I did not like about this cosmic color, a very odd reason, but one of the reasons that why I sent this iPhone back. But the thing is, if I'm not able to get a silver iPhone in a week, I would still just switch to an orange iPhone, because what I saw in Canadian market at least is that we have got more stock of the orange color, or just the thing is that the silver color is just selling more, and that is why that I just cannot find any silver iPhone, at least in the Calgary market as of now. But we shall see that what would be the color that I would just end up getting on this iPhone. But if I just talk about the overall look and the design on this thing, I think this is one of the best feeling smartphones in the hand in the longest time. Now again, I'm using this Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, and you can see that how sharp the edges are of this device. And when we just turn from this glass to this metallic thing that is the titanium frame on this device, you do see a bit of sharpness as when you switch from the different materials. But that is just not the case with the all new iPhone 17 Pro Max, because it is now an all new aluminum chassis that is a unibody design, which means that most of the part of the body of the iPhone 17 Pro Max, it is made of aluminum, and the only part that is glass on the smartphone is the front and a little part on the back of the device that I really love as well. Because when you just see this device, it does give a different contrast between the actual orange color on the aluminum frame and what we have got on the glass design, which also serves a purpose, because this glass design on the back, that is a very small cutout, it also acts as a window for the wireless charging on this device, which is not possible with just aluminum thing. Either you just need to shell out a part of the aluminum frame to be able to do some kind of wireless charging, just like what we got with the Google Pixel 5 devices in the past, or this is the other way that what Apple really went with. And I just love this contrast that what we get from this device with this glass design pack along with aluminum chassis as what we have got on this smartphone. Now a lot of reports also suggest that this is not the best design, because aluminum is not very hard material just like titanium, and it is just very easy to chip off this smartphone. And for those people, I just think if you're just getting a very good case from the online vendors like ESR or maybe Taurus or any other smartphone case that you just want with your device, I think that you should just be good to go. I did use this device for about a week without any case, and I just did not get any kind of scratches on the front or back of the device. So I'm very confident about this device, but just keep an eye on the camera plateau and just make sure that you do not rest this device on a very hard surface where it is very easy to transfer of the material from the other one to this camera plateau edges as what we saw with the generic everything video. So just a disclaimer, but not a very bad design, I think, in my opinion. In fact, I do love the design on this iPhone 17 Pro Max more than any other iPhone that I have seen in the past, except I think that I did love the design on the iPhone 4 series. That was one of my favorite ones, and after that I even liked the design on the iPhone 5 series. But after that, it is just a hit or miss for me, at least for the way that how I like the design on this latest iPhones. Now the next thing that I want to discuss about on this device is the ceramic shield on the front and the back of this device. And again, I did not use this smartphone with any kind of screen protector or any kind of case on this device in my 2 weeks of usage, and I just did not see any kind of scratches on the front and the back of this device. But another thing that Apple really shouted out in their event was that the anti-reflective display coating on the front of this display. And even though that they are almost right about it, because the anti-reflective display technology on this thing is actually very good, but it is not as good as what we have got on the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. When I compared this device with iPhone 16 Pro Max in direct sunlight, yes, I could just feel a lot of difference. But when I compared the same thing with the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, it was just a day and night difference. So it is a better one, but not as good as what we have got on this very device, as we can see in this video. So something that I just wanted to discuss as well. Now one another thing that I noticed on this device is that this is a significantly better and a brighter display in comparison to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Again, I did a bit of testing in the outdoor sunshine, and I'm just able to read everything on the screen with no difficulties whatsoever. Now the next thing that what I want to talk about in this video is the performance on this all new iPhone 17 Pro Max, and I did compare this device with the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra and even the iPhone 16 Pro Max from the past year, and I was surprised to see that the single core performance on this thing was actually the best, but the multi-core performance was not as good as what we have got on the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. But when I did some of the 3D benchmarks, I found out that the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra was actually not the most stable device, and it was iPhone 17 Pro Max. And even I played a few games on this device like PUBG and Asphalt 8, and I did find out that the frame rates on this device was actually a bit more consistent on this iPhone 17 Pro Max in comparison to what I would usually get on my iPhone 16 Pro Max and even the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. So whatsoever Apple has done with this all new chipset on this device, along with now also there is a vapor chamber on this device that also helps with cooling on this device. So whatsoever they have done with the chipset, I think that it is just amazing. And also the vapor chamber is actually helping in making sure that the performance is sustained on this device, but also it is also coupled with a better and a bigger battery life on this device as well, which is I think almost the same as what we have got on the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. I think that the battery capacity on the iPhone 17 Pro Max is about 5088 mAh, which is one of the largest ones that we have seen in the iPhones. But also it is a faster charging iPhone as well, which is just great because you can just charge this device about 50% in about 20 minutes. But you might just need a faster charger to be able to get those speeds. The old 5-watt charger or the 20-watt charger would not be able to get these kind of speeds on this iPhone for charging, something that you should know while picking up this iPhone. And that is again one thing that I just do not like, but something that is there. But one another thing is that I think that it also accounts for a better battery life on this smartphone is the all new A19 Pro Bionic chip, which is faster, but also it is a better chip in the terms of the performance, and also at the same time, because it is paired with the N1 modem that is the latest one for this year, it also helps with the battery life on this iPhone 17 Pro Max. And now the next thing that what I really liked about this iPhone 17 Pro Max is the way that Apple was able to tune the camera sensors on this new device. And again, we have now got an updated array of three 48 megapixel camera sensors on this device, which is just amazing. But the way that how Apple was able to tune this all new camera sensors is just one of the best part of this device. Now I just do not want to talk about the photographs on this device, but there is one thing that I would just tell later on this video. But what I really loved on this device is this all new Apple Lock 2 feature, feature on this camera smartphone, which is something that I was not expecting from Apple. But this is seriously a pro graded camera, and you can just take a log to video from this camera sensor, and you should be able to just edit and tune the colors in the best way that you want to. But also it is now paired with the gen lock feature and the time code support for the video synchronization. Not something that I really tested. I think that it is just a bit more pro for my general usage. But this camera, it is just tuned so perfectly that I just never need to take my DSLR with me when I'm outside. And if I just want to take any other shot of a product outside, which is something that I just really love, I just love to take the videographs of the latest and the greatest that we have got in the market in the terms of smartphone in the outdoor shots. And this thing is just a big savior for me. Now, one thing that I noticed on this all new camera system is that the telephoto camera sensor might not be as good as what I thought. Now, why I say is that now when I was comparing a few of the shots with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I actually found out that the details on the iPhone 16 Pro Max were even better, even though that it has got a 12 megapixel camera sensor instead of a 48 megapixel one. But another thing that I noticed is that when I tried to just bring that camera too close to the subject, it does try to switch from the telephoto camera sensor to the main camera sensor, which might be a bit more annoying for a few of the cases, but the other times it is just fine. And also the main camera sensor on this device is also tuned a bit by Apple as well, which is a good thing. But there is still no 1-inch camera sensor on the smartphone, which I just rave for. And I think when Xiaomi can do it, then Apple can do it as well. But one more thing that what I want to add about this camera experience is the all new 18 megapixel front camera sensor on this device, which also allows for a certain things like the dual camera shot on this device, which is something that is carried forward from this Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra as well. But you can now capture both from the front and the back of the device using this all new 18 megapixel camera sensor. But also this is now a square camera sensor instead of a traditional one, which means that now you can use the same square size on this camera sensor to be able to take a portrait shot or maybe a landscape mode without just turning your smartphone from portrait to landscape, which is just amazing. But one thing that I noticed is that there is a camera kit inside of this front camera sensor, because you can actually not utilize the entire square sensor of this device to be able to just take a square shot, which would be just amazing, but something that Apple just did not include on this device. So either you can just take a portrait shot or a landscape mode by just keeping this smartphone in a portrait shot every single time, which is something that I would say that if you're taking a landscape shot while keeping the phone in the portrait mode, the photographs are just a bit more natural, and some of the times it also hides your arm when you're taking the photograph as well, which is one thing that is good about this smartphone. So the camera experience is just very much amazing on this device. Now, I just want to end the video with the software on this device, because I think that even though this iPhone 17 Pro Max is just one of the most amazing smartphones that I have seen in the longest time, but when I compare this thing with something like this Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, I just feel like that software is one of the weakest point of this all new iPhone. And even though that I just love the liquid glass design on this iOS 26 update, but just because that this has now got a bit more of power in comparison to what we had on the iPhone 16 series, just like having 12 GB of RAM, a faster processor, faster GPU, and so much so, Apple could just not utilize enough to make sure that the software on this thing is amazing. And I'm talking about all the AI features. Siri is just not great when we compare it with something like what we have got on the Google Pixel devices and even the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. And they could have just done enough to be able to make sure that whatsoever is the power in this device, it could be utilized for all the in-house algorithms. And that is again something that I wanted from Apple, just to make sure that they have got enough of the AI algorithms that are running on the device. But this is not the case with this smartphone. Actually, I did not even hear a lot about Apple saying about the AI in the event as well, which means that this might be a great device and it has got a lot of power, but Apple is just lagging behind in the terms of this AI race. But when Apple would be able to fix all the AI features and just include a bit of the few new ones on the device, I think that this kind of power might just be worth on this iPhone 17 Pro Max. And well, That was all that what I wanted to share about in this video. A very good device and certainly one of the best that Apple has ever produced in their lifetime, but something that could be just a bit more better with a silicon carbide battery, better CD as well, and also at the same time if there was a 1-inch camera sensor, that would be just one of the best things that we could have on this device. And well, that was all. My name is Anshul. Thanks for watching and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.